All right, let's talk about a machine that is an absolute game changer in any workshop, the wood planer. If you've ever wanted to take a rough, kind of warped piece of lumber and turn it into something perfectly flat and ready to build with, well, you're in the right place. Stick around because we're going to break it all down.
You know the feeling, right? You get a piece of wood for a new project, and it's cupped, maybe a little twisted, or it's just got that really rough, raw texture. You can't build anything precise with that stuff. So how do you get from that to a board that's perfectly flat, perfectly smooth, and ready to go?
And here's the answer. It's this incredible machine, the planer. To put it simply, this tool is designed to do two things, and do them incredibly well. Make the surface of a board smooth, and get it to a perfectly consistent thickness from one end to the other. This, right here, is the secret to precision woodworking. So, let's dive in.
Okay, but before we even think about plugging this thing in, we've got to talk about the framework for getting good, safe results every single time. It really all boils down to three key ideas.
And here they are. Think of guidelines as your basic safety rules. These are the non-negotiables. Procedures are the literal step-by-step actions you take for any given task. And standards, well, that's all about the quality of your work. If you get these three things in your head, you're going to work safer and honestly make much better stuff.
So what does a planer actually do? It really comes down to two main jobs, two really important jobs. I like to think of them as the machine's two superpowers that work together to completely transform a piece of wood.
The first job is called surfacing. Now, a planer is designed to make one face of a board parallel to the other. So that means you have to start with one perfectly flat reference face. A lot of times, you'll actually do this on another machine like a joiner. The key thing to remember is you have to establish one true flat face before you can do anything else. Think of it like this. You're taking a wonky, rough board and making just one side of it absolutely perfect. So why is this so critical? Because that flat face becomes your single point of truth for the entire board. Without it, every other cut, every other measurement you make is going to be based on a flawed foundation.
It all starts right here, with that first flat face. Once you have that solid, reliable surface, you are officially ready for the planer's second superpower.
And job number two is thicknessing. This is where the magic really happens. You take your board, place that flat reference face down on the machine's bed, and feed it through. The cutter on top shaves down the upper face, making it perfectly parallel to the bottom. You just run it through a few times, taking off a tiny bit of wood with each pass until it's the exact thickness you want.
This is how you get all your boards perfectly even, getting them ready to become parts for furniture or cabinets or whatever you're building. And the importance here is just so obvious. When every single piece has the exact same thickness, everything fits together flush and tight. No gaps, no misalignments, just beautiful, clean work.
And the result is just so satisfying. You put a board in that might be a little uneven or tapered, and what comes out the other side is perfectly uniform. That's the power of thicknessing. It uses that first flat face as a guide to create a board with a precise, consistent final dimension.
So let's put them side by side just to make it crystal clear. Surfacing, that's your starting point. It creates that all-important flat reference face. Thicknessing is the second act. It makes the other side parallel to the first and gives you that final uniform size. You really can't have one without the other. They're a team.
Okay, you've surfaced your wood, you've thicknessed it, it's perfect. The job's done, right? Time to start building? Well, not quite. Your responsibility doesn't actually end when the wood comes out of the machine.
And that brings us to our final section, keeping the machine healthy. You know, proper maintenance is just as important as knowing how to use it. It's all about safety, performance, and making sure your tool has a nice, long life.
And maintenance doesn't have to be some big, complicated thing. It's really just about building a few simple habits to keep the machine clean and running smoothly. Think of it less like a chore and more as a discipline that really pays off down the road. We're talking about basic things, like cleaning out all the sawdust that can cause overheating and just checking your blades every once in a while. Sharp blades give you a much cleaner cut and put way less strain on the motor. At the end of the day, a clean machine is a safe machine, and a well-maintained tool will give you fantastic results for years and years.
So, let's bring it all home. What's the ultimate purpose of this machine in your workshop? What's the big takeaway from all this?
A planer does so much more than just make wood smooth. It actually transforms unpredictable, rough material into the reliable, precise, stable foundation that all quality woodworking is built on. It's the tool that truly makes precision possible.
Understanding how to create that perfect foundation, well, that's the first and maybe the most crucial step in any project. So, the only question left is, now that you know how it's done, what are you going to create?